Elon Musk's dreams of humans being interplanetary species and space travel is well within reach. Since the dawn of civilization, humanity has pondered on the secrets hidden in deep space. Dreams of exploring the cosmos were kept to the big screens, with Hollywood doing its best to paint pictures of what life would be like as species with free roam of the solar system and beyond. Then, in the 20th century, the dream of space exploration took shape. The first living being orbited the planet in 1957. Granted, she was a 2-year-old terrier, but that trip into space marked a big step in using spacecraft and the knowledge of astronomy to explore beyond our world. In a few years, we very well may witness the first human society on Mars. Elon Musk has been dubbed a madman by many, an entrepreneur by some, and Earth's first interplanetary litterbug. When in 2018, he launched SpaceX's Falcon Heavy rocket into space with an odd payload, his 2008 red Tesla Roadster, and Starman, a dummy passenger cruising in the vehicle through space on a course for the asteroid belt in Mars' direction. Musk believes that humanity needs to become a multi-planet species and even go beyond our solar system. His reasoning? The sun will eventually expand and destroy all life on Earth. This might seem like a stretch to say the least, but keep in mind there are actual scientific data to support his fears. If not now, the sun will eventually reach its limit. The Starship is his means of accomplishing his goal of interplanetary travel. Starship and its companion Super Heavy booster are the next step in this vision, after the success of Falcon Heavy's launch. With these rockets, he plans on decreasing the cost of space travel by up to a factor of 10 or more. Elon Musk, a South African-born entrepreneur and businessman, in 2002 established SpaceX, taking the first step toward his visions of colonizing other planets. The biggest achievement of SpaceX has been its development of reusable rockets. The California-based company had to deal with a lot of failures before finally getting to this point of using reusable rockets for all its launches. This innovation reducing spaceflight costs and making it sustainable. SpaceX entered the space exploration sphere with the successful launch of the Falcon 1 rocket, a 2-stage liquid-fueled rocket designed to send small satellites into the Earth's orbit. The Falcon 1 was cheaper to build thanks to the Merlin engine designed by SpaceX. Although its first 3 trials failed to attain orbit, the company has since learned from its mistakes and has sent several satellites and crews on behalf of NASA to space. And on May 30th, 2020, it sent its first 2 astronauts to the International Space Station, ISS, on board the SpaceX Crew Dragon, and has sent more crews to space since then. SpaceX has achieved milestone after milestone, and even accomplished the first ever relaunch of a payload-carrying orbital rocket, as well as the first landing of a reused rocket. Yet there is still more in store, as the testing of a Starship system for lunar landings and explorations beyond is well underway. Musk is not a fan of wastage. No true futurist is. This ideal is seen in the creation of the SpaceX Starship. It consists of a 2-stage-to-orbit launch rocket, the Super Heavy booster stage and the Starship stage, which makes the full journey. In July, a test that was conducted using a prototype version of the Super Heavy booster went awry, and the experiment ended in a fiery explosion. The test was designed to start up the engines for a screening of what the startup sequence would look like preceding an actual launch. Musk acknowledged the failure, but it clearly did not deter the man. More tests were run, and there is now a scheduled launch set for later this year. Both Starship's rocket stages are powered by a total of 39 Raptor engines and are designed for rapid reuse after landing. The Raptor engine series was created for use in the development of SpaceX's Starship and is a range of full-flow staged combustion cycle rocket engines. The engines are powered by cryogenic liquid methane and liquid oxygen. Super Heavy is the first stage or booster stage and forms the lower part of the rocket. The booster is 70 meters, that is 230 feet tall, 9 meters or 30 feet wide, and houses up to 33 sea-level optimized Raptor engines. The booster is equipped with 4 grid fins, which are powered by electricity. Each of these fins has a mass of 3 tons or 6,600 pounds, so they are, like the rest of the rocket, super heavy. They permit the craft to acquire more pitch control and can only rotate in the roll axis. Super Heavy's hard points are between the grid fins. The hard points are used for lifting and catching by the mechanical arms on the launch tower, dubbed the Mechazilla. The booster's direction is controlled using cold gas thrusters, which are supplied with evaporated propellant inside the rocket's tanks. The booster will launch the Starship into space before returning to its launch tower and delicately landing. The separation of the booster from the spacecraft is done by releasing the latches and the Raptor engine's precise handling to separate from the spacecraft and make a scheduled landing. In fact, the booster's landing is less of a landing and more of the rocket getting caught by Mechazilla's arms as it decelerates. This means that the Super Heavy booster rocket will not need legs or a stand of any sort to complete its landing. Instead, it will be precisely guided back into the launch tower, with the grid fins serving to control its descent as well as take more load. This catch method would save SpaceX from not only adding bulky legs to its rocket, but also a truly precise maneuvering system that could even reduce the turnaround time and save the company the time and costs of creating new engines. This is in line with Elon Musk's zero waste policy, as the creation of the Starship is ultimately a giant step towards a reusable rocket system that can handle rapid launch schedules. In the future, SpaceX could relaunch the rocket several times in a day without ever needing to move it from its landing position. It is a genius idea, but its implementation has to be precise, with very little or no margins for error during the booster's landing. The Starship's upper stages will house 6 Raptor engines, completing the rocket's usable 39 engines. The rocket system would be able to handle any sort of mission, including trips to Mars or the Moon. The reusable rocket can handle over 100 tons or 100 people at a time. The upper level measures 164 feet tall and 30 feet wide. Together with the Super Heavy booster, the rocket measures a whopping 120 m. If there truly is to be a city on Mars, the Starship has a lot of work cut out for it, because to fully stock a city on the red planet, at least 10,000 trips are necessary. Since the Starship rocket is designed to be refueled in space, it could move huge payloads across the solar system without hassle. Yet again, the launch tower plays a major role, as it will catch the Starship when it returns to Earth. Musk has said there will only be the need for legs on the spacecraft when it is on Mars or another planet. The risks are numerous with this innovative technique of landing, and any deviation would mean an explosion that would destroy not only the rocket, but also the high launch tower structure. Although launch costs are a large limiting factor in space travel, SpaceX has plans of completing its first orbital flight test with the massive Starship rocket as soon as the end of October 22 or early November at most. With failures and successes paving the way for future endeavors, the world waits with bated breath to see what scientific marvels SpaceX has in store. While Starship's reusability is anticipated to reduce launch costs, thereby increasing space access to more payloads and entities, there is some doubt lingering on the success of the launch scheduled in November. If the combination of the 33 engines does not successfully launch the Starship into orbit, it would lead to even more time spent by the company, reevaluating and preparing for another launch at a later date. Then maybe armies of rovers can be sent to distant planets, or people and equipment to Mars to begin setting the foundations for establishing human colonies. Then again, before any of that can happen, SpaceX has to prove that its massive rocket can actually fly. To keep up with this project, other space travel innovations, and many more, subscribe to this channel, and clicking the like button tells us you want more. So smash that like button. Thanks for watching.